I just told my father I did a video. And he asked me, well, what did you do it on? And I said, I did it on the letter Quf. And he asked me, well, why did you do it on the letter Quf? And I was thinking for a second, and, well, you know something, that was a good question. Why did I do the video on the letter Quf? The letter Quf, to me, represents Ein Sof. It's the Resh on top, and the Zion that drops below the line. This Resh is 200, and Zion is 7, and that comes 207, which is the gematria of Ein Sof and the gematria of Or. The two letters themselves spell Resh, and Zion spell Raz, which means secret. Those two letters the other way spell Zah, crown. So what we're really seeing here is one of the formative letters, if not the most formative letter of all, representing 100 for the 100 blessings that a Jewish person is required to do a day. The interesting thing about this letter Quf is that it represents the only letter that drops below the line. All the other letters are written on the line, and Quf, with its Zion, drops below the line. The other letter that has anything to do with the line is the letter Lamed, which rises above the line. So the Quf has a relationship to the Lamed because they're the only letters that aren't on the line. See? And they're written very similarly. One could think that they're written similarly. I personally choose to write the Lamed as a Kaf with a Vav on top. The Vav is on top definitely on top, and then depending on how you write it, the Quf could be a Kaf or a Resh, but it's a Kaf and a Vav on top, which gives 26, which is Yud Ke Vav Ke. If you take that gematria in full, it's Kaf, which is Kaf Pei, and a Vav, which is Vav Vav, which is 112, which is the gematria of Yud Ke Vav Ke plus Elohim. So the 26 is represented and the 112 is represented. Another interesting thing about the letter Kaf, Kaf Pei, in its full spelling, equals 100, which is the letter Quf. So this 100 is a very important number in Judaism because it's one. Each like one sephirot has 10 points, and each one of those 10 points has another 10 points. So you get to 100. So one finds its fulfillment in 100. See? Another wonderful thing about the number 100 is that it comprises the two letters that are held miraculously in the two stones of the Ten Commandments. The Samech and the Mem, the final Mem. The Samech is 60, the Mem is 40, which comes out to be 100. So this 100 is a miraculous number. The hundreds also are the numbers that are associated with the Bria world and Bina. And this is why this Kaf, to me, represents the mother pose in yoga, because it's the resh, and then from the medulla oblongata in the neck drops the letter Zion from the neck point where you have the medulla oblongata, the connection between the head and the spine, and then through the neck itself, and then, which is kind of das, and then into between the shoulder blades. And in previous videos I've explained how the two shoulders are 500 each, because shouldering, the gematria is 500 for each shoulder, so we have 1,000, and that's the aleph in the center that relates to 10 points in each of the 100 points of the Qaf, and that comes back to 1,000. So the question is why I am doing this on the letter Quf. It's because, for whatever reason, especially today, it's Tu B'Shvat, about the tree of life. To me, it's an inverted posture. The tree of life itself must be realized as an inverted posture. You see? And we have to bring up the sparks from underneath that are down below, and the way we bring this up is by inversion. And so this letter Quf, which is the first letter of the name Cain, see? First letter of Kalipa. You see, Kalipot. I know they call it the first letter also of Kedusha. And the reason why it's the first letter of Kedusha is because it's the first letter of Kalipot. This is the ultimate secret in Judaism, to find the Kedusha in the Kalipot, and to raise the sparks back up to their intended place in the first place. And one must be able to see the holiness in the apparent lack of holiness, in the apparent vacuum of Kedusha. And this is evident today because man is a tree of life. Man is a tree. And so all his parts, all his limbs, you see, and in Hindi, in Sanskrit, it's the mother pose is called all-limbed. It's like the limbs of a tree. See? And so this all-limbed posture, this mother pose, is a perfect posture for Tu B'Shvat, especially on the full moon of Shavat. Because that full moon is the merging of the masculine and feminine in a union. Shows the potential of man. So, to answer the question, why did I do this on the letter Quf? That's part of the question. Look, another beautiful thing about the letter Quf is that it's Quf Vav Pei. That Quf Vav Pei, the Vav Pei is 86. 86 is Elohim. So the din of the letter Quf, of the full potential of the Quf, is Elohim. And Elohim is what's below this line here. You see? Compared to the Kaf, Vav, which is above the line, is the Yud Kei Vav Kei. So the din has to be realized here as Elohim. And this din has to be raised up and made to Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. And that's why on Yom HaKippurim, this inversion day, HaKippurim, Hippuk day, on this Hippuk, one has to say, Adonai Hu Ha-Elohim, because there's a union here of full potentiality of Kedusha and Dinam. And when one sees that, then one sees the actualization of Judaism itself, and one sees its manifestation in society.